Well, thank you for coming tonight. I was really sad this weekend because I couldn't go to the New Sarity event in Saskatoon. And so I thought it would be fun for my call tonight to get some special guests on that were there and just give us some takeaways that they got from the weekend. Maybe tell us even what happened, who was there, what they learned. So my three special guests on the call today are Glenda, Leslie, and Alfreda. So thank you so much for agreeing to come on and share with us. Now, I don't care who goes first. If one of you really wants to go first, go for it. I guess I have Glenda wrote down here first if you wanna start.
Sure.
Yeah. So just let us know kind of what you took away from this weekend and what all happened. So.
Okay. I really liked it was a great weekend. I liked that it was a smaller kind of conference. I wasn't at the last conference, so it kind of made me, I was able to connect with a lot of people, and it was just a smaller crowd, so I really liked that, and kind of connected me again because it's been a while since a conference. And yeah, I don't know, it was really good. I always like the stories, and it always comes down to that to me, is that I like hearing what people have to say. I loved when the Diamonds talked about their special moments, because one of the questions that were asked in the Q&A was, I forget exactly how it went, but what was your most memorable New Sarity thought or memory or whatever, and so they all shared what theirs was, and that was really good to listen to, and the training was good. TL was amazing. She talked about her story, and it was intense, and it was really her story that we've all heard before, but she just did it in such a great way to kind of round out the whole business. And I don't know, there was just lots of things that people shared their stories throughout the day, which is always really fun to listen to. And yeah, I don't know. There were so many things that I thought about. I loved when TL explained that whole rank advancement and the importance of auto ship and auto write-off, and the new Sapphire. Now there's going to be a Sapphire. So my explanation is now, instead of Ruby to Emerald, there's going to be the Sapphire in between there, which isn't going to be as hard to obtain for people. And yeah, I don't know, I'll probably want to interject when I hear somebody else talk, but pretty much, it was a great weekend. It was really fun. The party after was really fun. We danced away, and yeah, it was good. Let leave. So
awesome. That's great. Leslie, do you want to go next?
Okay, sure. I'll pipe in. I looked through my notes. I thought, oh, you said, what were your takeaways? And I thought, okay, I'll check my notes out, because that's how I am. What did I take away? What did I write down? And there were two things that spoke to me. And the first was Tish talking about home meetings and open meetings, and how important it is for us to not focus on who's not showing up, and what energy that's probably bringing to the room. And if the guests that are there are picking up on that, what message that might be sending, maybe that they're not valued so much, that, we're worrying about who's not there. And also that maybe I shouldn't have come. Why these people are canceling. So I thought that was so great to point out, and just to keep in mind that we're not doing that. Keep the energy positive, right? Focus on who is there. And then the other big one, just checking my notes here, was that TL talked about how we need to brag so much more about New Sarity. And I'm not sure we do, and to be honest, I'm blessed that New Sarity was the first company that came to me, and I joined New Sarity. And so I don't is how different it is compared to other companies. I haven't checked out other comp plans and that sort of thing, but Lonnie mentioned too how, not just in this type of business, but in any business, normally your costs are going up, right? And so, you know, compared to other direct selling or network marketing companies, most of those, you're having to have a higher personal volume or sales of some kind as you're ranking upward, and or as your pay is increasing or your costs are going up. And so that's huge, right? That it's always 100 PV for all of us, and we should be bragging about that. And then the other thing, sort of the university, and I hadn't thought before how, you know, I know it's there for us and it's great. There's webinars and lots of tools on there, you know, recordings and training materials, just so much stuff. And a lot of companies charge for that, and we get that all as part of our, you know, mere $36.25 lifetime. So being, you know, clear that we need to be bragging about those things and bragging about Newsarity, it really stuck with me. It's a takeaway.
Awesome, cool. Alfreda, do you want to go next?
Oh, for sure. I actually wrote down quite a few notes, and I thought that's typical of me because I kind of have the gift of the gab, and I really trying to quit doing that. But I have both of these ladies touched on stuff that actually that I had thought about too, but I do have actually a few points here, and I wrote them down so that I didn't get too long-winded and that I could remember them. So I'll start out with the speakers, and one of the speakers, and I'm not going in line, I wrote down as it came to me. And one of them was Trish, and she's from Wishart, Saskatchewan. And I'm not going to pronounce her last name because it's Ukrainian. I have no idea how to say it, even though she tried a few times to tell us how to say it. But she went up there and told her story. And she told her story, and she told us why she joined the company. And I actually wrote this down, and she actually said she joined the company because of this one quote. And I'll quote it to you. And she said, leadership is communicating someone's potential so clearly that they are inspired to see that in themselves. So I'm thinking, and then, you know, she kind of put it in a way like, yeah, isn't this kind of lame, right? I joined because of a quote. But when I really thought about it afterwards, she was saying that, you know, like people, for instance, like Tish and TL and the whole crew of them, they come and they can see the potential in us. We haven't quite seen it yet, and they want us to be inspired by them so that we can see it in themselves. And I have to say that really hit home. So when she said that, I kind of want to lead into the next person, and these are all random. Misty said at the end, she was one of the hosts. She actually kind of organized it and then learned how to delegate. She said a little bit more on not having to do everything herself. And she said that, and this really related to me, and I wish Dana was on here too tonight. She had I loved her last Sunday. That was awesome. But anyway, she just said, because it really related to me too, was that everyone, like from a star to a crown diamond, everybody has something to offer. So stars can be leaders. Your rank doesn't matter. So it doesn't determine your leadership. So you can be a leader if you're a silver. You can be a leader if you're a superstar. You can be a leader no matter what. And we all have something to give, and we all have a reason why we're there. And I truly, truly believe, I know that we have beautiful diamonds. We all admire everybody that's, you know, that has done so much for the company. But we got to remember, we're the backbone of the company. And if it wasn't for people like us, from stars and associates and everybody that was in it, if we weren't there, where would the company be? We need the backbone of all of us, every single one of us. We all matter, and that really triggered a big thing for me. Feel free to say something, you guys, if you want. I'm just going to kind of go on here, if that's okay. And so that was something that Misty had mentioned that really touched home with me. And you're right, you guys, with TL, she told her story in more detail than I've ever heard. And she had a lot of good advice. And something that comes to the top of my head, and you'll notice I'm kind of reading my notes so that I don't, so I can remember. When you tackle something that seems really large, and this is, she had a whole hour. She was great, but I just tried to bring to my mind what came to me that really related. And she said, when you tackle something that's really large, she says, shrink it down. So she said, set like a 2-minute timer and then count down. And then totally, she said in her words, she said, where did I write that? She said that put your rhino horn on. She said, how did she put it? Oh, and then she says, laser focus on what you're doing. And it reminds me of the challenge that we took with some of the ladies. It was with Lisa Nichols, and she called it a micro win. So we took 50, she would say, and TL meant this too, take 15 minutes, set a timer, and just do your task. Do your task, whatever you decided. She says, you can, we kind of laughed because TL had said something about, I can go in my closet for an hour and do absolutely nothing. But if I set a time and totally focus on that particular thing, and it does work because I've done it, only focus on that particular thing. And if you even do it for 15 minutes, she said, TL had said that, and I wrote it down here somewhere. What if you said that you became a 6-figure income earner in 15 minutes? Because every day you took 15 minutes and you totally focused on only that. So let's say you focused on, you guys have heard maybe the 3, 3, and 3, that the Australian couple had said, you're just taking 15 minutes and you phone people or you do your homework on whatever. And so that was a good takeaway with TL. She threw in some humor. And that leads to, because I don't want to keep going on, it leads to Mary Beth, because she was the host for Saturday. And she's frigging hilarious. You guys know how funny she is. And all I wanted to say about Mary Beth was she totally can work a room. And she had her friend, and I was just trying to think of her name, Janet. And I tell you, the humor that those girls created and the fun that they created it's key. Like, key people paid attention. So you've got to remember not to take yourself so seriously, because I remember I did that lots. So she was really good. They were funny, and they were honest, and they said stuff. And I want to touch base on Tish too, because she was there and she was asked to do Tish, what was you at? She was asked to talk about Zoom meetings like we're doing right now, and the do's and don'ts. And Tish had her humor, and she was honest, and it was great. I don't want to talk a lot about that. Maybe she does. I don't know. But at the end, we had a panel. You guys, something that was different. The panel, they had, normally we have, the Diamond Mine panel, but this time, because they was saying how important we all are, they had a panel with a platinum, they had a panel with a ruby in it, they had a panel with a gold. I don't know, I can't remember what all the ranks were, but they answered all questions. But in the Diamond Mine, they had a panel, and Tish made it real. And Tish, I have to mention, we laughed because they had some lights on there, and Tish was busy, and Misty was talking, and Tish was busy and distracted a little bit by some shiny lights. And she was brutally honest, and she said they were shiny, they were on her shoes, and it was frigging hilarious. So then she says, you know what, Misty, I'm sorry, I missed the question. I was kind of admiring the shiny things. And it just reminded me that, we can be honest, we can be funny, we can have fun. These guys are all up there, and it was just fantastic. I have a few other things, but I don't want to keep talking to you guys. Somebody else, I'm sure, wants to talk. Lonnie had some interesting things too, and so one of the things he kept saying, don't take yourself seriously, but we take our business seriously, right? So all in all, just two more things I want to say to you guys is that don't talk as much as I do. And, but in a nutshell, I really want to say I had brought 4 ladies there, and if you even have to, and this is what Mary Beth did in that, even if you have to trick people to come to these events or make up stories, and I don't know how many different ones said that they got told us something like, oh, it's just gonna be a girls' night out, and they end up at a New Sarity meeting or whatever. Seriously, everyone that had that kind of a trick, they weren't mad after. Actually, they all joined. Everyone that mentioned it joined. And if you can lead your people to these events, I really get the understanding of that. They will get it, because I had 3 newbies that had never met Lonnie, never been to any kind of thing yet, except for maybe, a little bit about home launches type thing. And they loved it. I've talked to them, and they're in. So if you can lead, if you're struggling, lead your people into coming to these things, because they're going to get it once they've been. They really will. So anyway, Mandy, sorry. I hope I didn't take a lot of your time, but it was so great. It was a great weekend.
Awesome. It sounds like it was a really great weekend. How many people do you think were there? Did any of the 3 of you know, or?
Maybe 150, maybe, do you think?
Yeah, I would guess that. Yeah, a lot of distributors.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, it sounds like a great weekend. I'm really sad I missed it, but I've been seeing some pictures pop up on Facebook, and I didn't have good service even on the weekend, so I didn't really have an even able to tap in or whatever and see the pictures until just this afternoon. So yeah, it looks like it was a lot of fun. So I can't wait till Calgary now. I guess we have to wait until, September 8th and 9th or something like that. I can't remember the exact dates, but yeah, no, it sounded like a great weekend. Thank you to the 3 of you for sharing with us tonight. And I guess with that, that's all I had. I wanted to pick 3 people that were there this weekend and kind of pick your brains and hear what you had to say. And yeah, that was awesome. Thank you so much. So I hope everyone has a good night. Tish, unless you have something else to add in here, I'm signing off, I guess.
That was a great call. Thank you, everybody. Yes, please be at the next event in Calgary, beginning of September. And then it hasn't been officially announced, but we have heard that March 1st to 4th will be the big official Vegas conference. So mark your calendars, March 1st to 4th. If you haven't heard already, it will be in Las Vegas for the Big West conference. So thank you guys for everything. Thanks, Mandy. Great call. And we'll see you guys all back here next week on our Zoom. Bye, everyone.
Good night, everyone.